Hello and welcome to a UCL Fantasy Chip Strategy Guide video. In this video I'll take you through basically the best ways to use your chips throughout the game this year, throughout the group stages, and some reasonings behind it, as well as some drafts for your wildcard teams and your limitless teams as well. If you're new to UCL Fantasy, you get two chips to use throughout the entire tournament. That's the Limitless chip and the Wildcard chip. Now, the Limitless chip is essentially, if you play FPL, a free hit with an unlimited budget. You get an unlimited budget to make a team for one game week, or match day as they're called in UCL Fantasy, and then your team reverts back to normal the match day after. The Wildcard chip basically lets you make unlimited transfers and your team stays like that throughout upcoming match days. Now, before we kick things off properly, the two chips you get, you're basically best using them throughout the group stages because there's more games, there's easier fixtures. You don't want to be saving your limitless chip basically for like the semi-final when there's only 4 games to use. You're not going to get as many points and the fixtures are going to be a lot less, so there's going to be a lot less scoring games as well. So the best two times to use both of your chips will be throughout the group stages. So we have all 6 match days here, and when you're using the limitless chip, which we're going to start off with, you want to be targeting the big teams with the highly expensive players with the easy fixtures. So we've got all the match days here and all basically the teams with expensive players, which of them have an easy fixture. So match day 1 obviously looks very decent. We've got the likes of Man City with Red Star, Barcelona with Antwerp, as well as a couple other ones in there as well. Now that actually looks like a decent time to maybe use one of your chips, but unfortunately you can't use chips in match day 1. They just don't allow that in the game, so that rules out using the Limitless that day. Match day 2 and 5, both of them have very little big fixtures or good fixtures, so that kind of leaves 3, 6 and 4. Now match day 3 and match day 4 are the exact same fixtures, just switched round. It's the same with match day 1 and 6 and match day 2 and 5. So match day 3 and 4 have the same fixtures, it's just swapped home and away, and both of them look great. We've got 8 teams in match day 4 and 7 teams in match day 3. Match day 6 as well looks okay, but it's kind of less of the big teams, and the big teams then have away games. Really, it's just Man United and Bayern for match day 6 that aren't involved there, whereas match day 3 and 4 they are. So you're kind of looking more towards match day 3 and 4, and that way you can split the group stage up rather than having a full team from 1 to 5. We're going to be looking at which match day to use the Limitless between basically match day 3 and 4, because they definitely look like you've got the better fixtures. You've got Man United against Copenhagen, you've got Man City against Young Boys, we've got Barcelona against Shakhtar, Bayern against Galatasaray. There's just a lot of opportunity there, and that lets you triple up on the likes of Bayern, Man United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City, and not have to worry about any of the player prices. So these are 2 limitless drafts that I've put together just to kind of compare between which one's better between match day 3 and match day 4. We've still got the fixtures just below them as well. Total team value, match day 4 seems to be a bit more. We've obviously got different goalkeepers, purely because I think the home fixtures are just a bit better for the goalkeepers. I wouldn't really want Onana away to Copenhagen and Ter Stegen away to Shakhtar. Now on paper, obviously both teams are very similar because it is kind of just the same fixtures, just a difference between home and away. The big difference you can notice here is the match day 4 Limitless team has a lot more home fixtures than the match day 3 team does. In match day 4, I think only Cancelo is literally the only player who doesn't have a home fixture, which I think is going to be a massive benefit. Something that makes me sway much more to the matchday 4 Limitless is when you look at that front 3. We've got Haaland, Vinicius and Kane in the matchday 4 team. Haaland with Young Boys at home, Vinicius with Braga at home, and Kane with Galatasaray at home. You compare that to the matchday 3 Limitless team, which is Haaland with Young Boys away, Lewandowski with Shakhtar at home, and Kane with Galatasaray at home. So I do think the home fixtures are going to make a big difference when deciding which day to use your Limitless. And obviously matchday 4 has a more expensive team. You're looking at 15.5 million over budget compared to the 11 million over budget. I think as well when you're looking at the teams, there's not really too many differences. You obviously have the 2 goalkeepers. We've got 2 Inter players against Salzburg. where you've got, again, Carvajal and Davies on the other one, who I have much easier fixtures. But to me, I just think the Game Week 4 team, or the Matchday 4 team, does just look a lot better. The fixtures, the home fixtures playing a big part. You can obviously triple up on Bayern against Galatasaray at home, triple up on Real against Braga at home, triple up on Man City against Young Boys at home. Whereas you're looking at the Game Week 3 team, the only really easy fixtures there is Man United with Copenhagen and Barcelona with Shakhtar. They're the dark green fixtures down the bottom. So Matchday 4, I think, definitely looks like the best time to Limitless. And now we will move on to the wildcard. So I've started off here with a Matchday 1 draft. This is the draft I've made purely to target the fixtures in Matchday 1. If you want to see that at a bit more of a better view, I'll stick the team in right below me, basically in the bottom left hand corner. But that's the team I've put together for Matchday 1. Purely to target, again, Haaland, Alvarez, Foden, the Man City players with the Red Star fixture. We've also got Barcelona with the Antwerp fixture at home. There's a couple other ones in there as well, just really to maximise points for Game Week 1. Now, when you're doing this, you obviously need to look ahead and look to Matchday 2. So that's where we've got this, basically looking at this Matchday 1 team and then taking a look at the fixtures there for Matchday 2. Now, obviously there's a big difference here. Matchday 2 does not look like it's going to be scoring a lot of points. Therefore, I really think the best time to use that wildcard will be in Matchday 2, purely because that will let you get the most points you possibly can in Matchday 1. Then Matchday 2 you can wildcard, again able to get the most points as possible because you're setting that wildcard team up for Matchday 2. You also, when making that wildcard team, you're wanting to target the Matchday 3 fixtures. So you're setting your wildcard team up purely for Matchday 3. We obviously seen before that Matchday 2 didn't have that many teams, that many big teams with good fixtures. So you're setting that wildcard team up for Matchday 3, which is going to give you a good Matchday 1 team, a good Matchday 2 team, a good Matchday 3 team, and then your Limitless card comes in Matchday 4. So you're pretty much maximising the points you can get from Matchdays 1 to 4. So just as the Limitless then, we've got a wee quick draft for a Matchday 2 wildcard team. You can see that on the left hand side there. Matchday 2 is obviously the games we are getting when the wildcard happens, and we're setting us up very nicely for Matchday 3. We've got the triple Man United against Copenhagen. We've also got the triple, is that triple? Yeah, the triple Bayern against Galatasaray as well as Barcelona against Shakhtar. You know, you're basically getting your Limitless chip, but a cheaper version of it. I think the Matchday 3 Limitless had the likes of Davies. I went for the cheaper option and went for a Upamecano here because obviously we can't afford that without the Limitless chip. The same with Rodri over Foden. But this team's actually very well set up for Game Week 2 or Matchday 2. We've got the double inter defence against Benfica. And as I said, we've obviously got the Man U and Bayern players, which you can't have in Matchday 1 because they play each other. So you don't want to be missing out on Bayern and Man United in Matchday 1, and then you've got none of them for the Copenhagen and Galatasaray fixtures. So again, another reason to use that wildcard in Matchday 2 is really just to pile in the United and Bayern players to target those easy fixtures. So as I say, very well set up for Matchday 2. I think the best setup as you can be because the fixtures aren't that great. It's fairly similar with Matchday 5, but there's more home fixtures involved there. Matchday 3 and 4, obviously the easy fixtures. The team's well set up for Matchday 3, and you obviously get 2 transfers per round in the game, so if you want to make some transfers, you're free to do so. Limitless happens in Matchday 4. Then we've got Matchday 5 and 6. Matchday 5's well set up for as well. Matchday 6 has a couple red fixtures, but that is literally just the Bayern and Man United players. We've got triple Bayern and we've got triple United. And if you roll your transfer in Matchday 5, you get 3 transfers to possibly get out the defenders there. And you can keep Sané, Bruno and Kane for the attack. And that wraps up everything for the chip strategy guide. As a final verdict, we're going for a wildcard in Matchday 2 and a Limitless in Matchday 4. I think that just makes the most sense, and you're able to get basically the best team for the first 4 match days before you can have a good look at things for match day 5 and 6. And possibly have some saved up transfers as well in there. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. We'll have a lot more UCL fantasy stuff coming over the season, so make sure you subscribe with that. Make sure to turn on notifications so you get notified whenever I upload, and I will see you all in the next video.